Declared in one voice, we will not go quietly into the night. We will not vanish without a fight. We're going to live on. We're going to survive. Today, we celebrate our Independence Day.
It's not true. It doesn't matter what's true. It matters the story they tell when you're gone.
I keep on pushing down my gypsy road.
Well, all right. Welcome, people. Just letting you know, Dr. Wu will be showing up. Dr. Wu had to run to the store real quick and buy a bunch of ice and beer, because he's actually headed to the mountains today. About after 3:30, he's going back in the mountains. He's going to be staying up there for about a week to 2 weeks. When he comes on, we'll ask him about it. He's actually hunting season starts back up in about a week, and so to have a spot, he's actually going up there a week early to hold on to a spot. And the reason is for that, guys, because we live in an area now that a lot of the mountains got burnt. I mean, was on fire. So the hunting grounds, that used to be a big, I don't know how to explain it, a big circle, has shrunk. So now you got tons of people that's still hunting, but they're hunting in a smaller area because you're not allowed to hunt the part that was basically burnt down. So it's a lot of chaos in a lot of ways. There's there just is. So they found a good spot, and Bob's he's gonna get the spot. He's gonna stay there and all that. So and we just decided to do a show today. Just the title is just to shoot the shit. It's not the whole show. It's just a reason to get a show. So he'll be here soon and all that. But let me talk about the title for a second. Anyway, I don't know if actually I saw a comment earlier from Chasing the Truth, Sean G. Love the movie Spies Like Us. Yes, Dan Aykroyd, and oh my God, the Caddyshack guy, Modern Problems. How am I forgetting his name? Sean. I'm gonna have to type that in for a second. I'm forgetting his name. Modern Problems. What is the 1981 movie? What is Chevy Chase? How the hell can I forget Chevy Chase's name? I mean, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. Chevy Chase. I don't know how I forgot his name. And Chevy Chase in the movie Modern Problems was awesome. It was awesome. So guys, what's been going on about this channel? About the shows and all that? Well, with this new job and all that, and actually, guys, I'm actually going from this one job to another job because this one job is a piece of crap. There's no quality of life. So I'm jumping on another job on the 28th. So it's a weird ring around thing and all that. So mostly going in the future, most of the shows are going to be at nighttime. And I think I'm going to be doing shows on Sunday nights and Wednesday nights. Wednesday nights after Tracing the Truth, Sean G. So after tracing the Sean G, you guys jump on over to my channel. And of course, I think Sundays, none of our friends are doing shows at night on Sundays. So I think Sunday's clear because I don't like to do shows where other people have shows, you know. And guys, I also been working on the next breaking news. I just got to put it together and try to get it out by tomorrow. So guys, so Bob is at the store. He is coming back, and he is going to jump on as soon as he gets here. But let me say hi to a few people in the chat. We got Mystery Schooler, welcome. Sarah, welcome very much. I'm glad to see you here. Judy, always love to see you here. Chasing the Truth, it's always an honor and a pleasure to have you here. And even Connor from his workplace is going to try to jump on during his work time. So we might have different people jumping on. Judy Hayes, thank you for showing up. What the Flock TV, just an awesome channel, awesome guy, such an open-minded person. I love that. Let me see. Of course, like I said, Bigfoot's going to try to join. We got Dan's The Good Stuff, Deidre Sparks, Daniel Jackson. I'm trying not to miss everybody here. Okay. Now, you guys got what does this say? Good old friend Hero Steel. I love his channel. Man, he deserves thousands of clicks. I'm telling you guys right now, he's got a great channel, and he deserves. I love his channel. So by the time Bob gets here, so let me why aren't above his negative, shallow, commercial, mainstream trash? Don't know. What's it say? Wait a minute. Aren't you above the negative, shallow, commercial, mainstream trash?
Hey, what's up?
I'm trying to read
the audio's not working, so I might have to go through Chrome. This has done this before, guys.
Oh, that's awesome. He'll come back on in a second. He'll come back on. So let me see here. I'm just trying to look at something real quick, and I'll get him back on. He's trying to jump back on. Let me see. Let me go. Oh, man, I got so many tabs open on my thing. It's hopefully I don't have too many tabs up, but there he is. There he is. All right.
Hey. Chrome must not be working, guys. I will be back.
Man, when he says it's not working, we're getting him on here. And just like that, sneak peek of Bigfoot, the real Bigfoot. That's true. Now, the reason I call this title, guys, I was actually on a Halloween site, and I was having an argument with the guy. Halloween movie suffers like Star Wars. I'm like, this movie is doing exactly the same thing as the last 3 Star Wars. And I think he's let me see here. Oh, he's trying to come on. Holy shit. Wow. Thank you. Hey, that's awesome. I appreciate that. Woo! I love that. Horror movies are for fools. Disagree with you. Horror movies are not for fools. Horror movie just helps you to get away from real life. Listen, we know the real horror is in real life. There's no secret about that. I'm not telling you anything you guys don't know. Horror is the real life. So horror movies is just to escape reality. Listen, going to the movies just escapes reality. That's all it is. I mean, I'm going to movies tonight to see Dune, right? Just to escape reality, to escape life. Just to wind down and relax, because life, there's a lot of pressure in life. What was that Chevy Chase where he had psychic powers? Modern Problems. That's what I was saying earlier, Sean G. Modern Problems. Modern Problems is probably my favorite Chevy Chase movie beyond Caddyshack, because Modern Problems of Sean was awesome, where he gets behind that truck that has that nuclear waste, and it gets all over him. He gets those powers. And then one of my most favorite scenes is when that voodoo lady was putting that white powder around the bed, and then Chevy Chase goes around the whole bed and sniffs the powder like it was cocaine. He's sniffing salt. Modern Problems was fantastic. Now, you can tell it's a 1981 movie, Sean. You know that. You can tell it's 1981, so it doesn't pull off as good as today as in the 80s, but Modern Problems, Sean, that's a good one. I love that one.
Modern Problems. I never heard that one. I was a big Vacation fan. That was one of the first movies that I ever saw some nudity in. We would get rent that late night and sneak it underground. Modern
Problems is like one of my favorite Chevy Chase movies. It's like one of his first movies where he was actually like the main star, like Caddyshack. He was, he was a star, but he wasn't the main star. But Chevy in Modern Problems, he's like us. He's a guy that goes to work. He hates his job. He's divorced from his wife, and life is just crapping on him. Nothing goes right. Nothing goes correct for him. And it just happens that one day he's driving home from work. His truck's breaking down. He can't roll down his sunroof. And all this nuclear waste gets all on him. And then, he sees his wife in a restaurant with another guy, and he makes the guy bleed everywhere. And he just makes him bleed through the whole apartment or the restaurant. And one of the most funniest parts in the whole movie that just makes you laugh is when he was actually at a play, one of those plays. And he made this dancer on stage. He made his balls grow extra huge on stage. So I mean, it's a crazy movie, but it was really good. I mean, it's for the time. I mean, it was like in the period where you had the movie Zapped. I don't know if a lot of you guys in chat remember Zapped. Zapped is Charles in Charge, the actor Scott Baio. He's in high school and he's in a science class. He makes this liquid and it gets all on him. And he has powers, make things move. So it was like the 80s was like the movie of Powers, which you don't really see that much no more, right? I mean, the powers you see now is mostly with superheroes. Not like they got it by accident. Well, I guess Spider-Man gets it by accident, but you know what I mean? You don't see that really no more. I wish they would come out with something like that again. You know what I watched last night? I watched I don't know if you've seen this. I watched a horror movie on Netflix. What is it called?
Night Teeth?
No. I saw that trailer. I was gonna watch it, but I watched this other one where this Mexican girl, she had like no papers. She moves into this house.
Oh, there's somebody in your house?
Yes. And then I'm watching it and I'm like, okay. But then there's like this weird fucking creature that comes out of a box. I'm like, all right, now it's got a little better, got a little interesting. But
I haven't got a chance to watch that one yet, but it's filmed right where I grew up in Cleveland, so it's close to home. So I definitely want to check it out. It hasn't got the best ratings. That's why I've watched a couple movies before it, but it's worth checking out for Netflix.
But horror movies never get. I mean, they just don't. Horror movies and people want perfection. Like I said, I was at first I was like, okay, but then I'm like, okay, that's cool. All right, that's not bad. Kind of like Malignant, right? You're thinking it's going one way, and then this weird ass bonkers thing happens. Like, oh, that's cool. So there's a bonker things that happens in this movie, which I thought it was cool.
Heck yeah. I was watching Dune last night, and it is 2 hours and 28 minutes long. So it's been a 3-day journey for me trying to finish that movie. But it's pretty cool. It's slow, but it's awesome hearing about the worms and the spice, because we did an episode on it, a couple months ago with Tyler Kennedy from Science and the Citizen podcast. So that was awesome. But yeah, man. And I see Sean G and Judy and a couple other people in chat. Just want to say salute to you guys. I have a big day ahead. Tonight, I'm going to the White Witch's grave in Tallahassee, and I'm meeting up with James Bross from Outcast Paranormal and Stacy Brown, of course. And I'm just super pumped. Tristan is coming with me from Hidden Relief. And tomorrow we're going to the Bellamy Bridge for some skunk ape research, and of course the Ghost Bride. And then Sunday, a festival with Flat Rock Booger, a Bigfoot festival in Pace, Florida. So this is I'm just trying to survive the weekend to all the fun, of course. But I got to work till close today, and then work till close tomorrow, and try to bring in all the extracurriculars in between.
Nothing wrong with that. I'm actually watching Dune tonight. I'm going to the movie theaters tonight to see it. No, I know
That's definitely the way to see it, because I was watching on my own projector and stuff, and I have distractions. If you're at a movie theater, you got nothing but the movie. You know, that's the way to see Dune for a slow burn like that.
Well, I've seen the 1984 Dune, and I know the expectations is it's a slower movie. It's not Star Wars. It's not even Star Trek. It's a sci-fi, science fiction. You really got to sit there. I was almost debating to watch it at home so I could pause it and come back and pause it, but I said, "What the hell? Why not?"
Heck yeah.
Airplanes don't travel as much as.
Yes, I try to stay busy, man. I'm balling on a budget, but it's a good thing when you're adaptable like me, and I can couch surf and try to just meet good people along my path. But I definitely find myself like cringing at people when they're like, I don't have time. I can't do this. I can't do. I'm like, oh my God. I'm writing 5 books at a time, working and doing all this other stuff. So I don't know what these people are so filled with their day with. But again, just encourage people to be positive and go after the prize that they want.
What the Flock TV, the original Dune was one of my favorites. The original Dune 1984 was good. It actually has Sting in it. I forgot the other actors were in it, but it was a good movie. Now, my job, let me tell you guys real quick what's happening with my job. I actually left one job. I'm starting a new job on the 18th at another place, and I'll tell you guys why. I went to this job and and let me just say I went to the first day. I'm trying to find out what's my shift and all that. And this young girl basically like, well, you're going to work 6:30 at night. You're going to work 4 to 5 hours overtime every day. And for right now, there's no days off. And I'm like, hold on, 7 days a week, 14, 15 hours of 14, 15 hours. And don't get me wrong, money's important. It is. But the quality of life is just as important. I'm not going to go to work at 6:30 and then come home at 5 o'clock and then no days off and just go back. I mean, there's no quality of life there. So I called out my old buddy who works at another place, almost exactly like this. And he's like, hey, I'll talk to my supervisor, and got me in. And I got this other job coming up that it's actually $3-4 more an hour than this place. And it's just, you got to think of quality of life. I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, no days off. I mean, what is this fucking slavery? Slave back in the fucking 1500s? No. No, fuck that. Fuck that. The reason I title this, guys, Halloween movie suffers just like the Star Wars franchise. The reason I titled it because I just wanted a title for a show anyway. I had an argument with this guy on a Halloween chat, and I go, Halloween just did exactly what Star Wars, almost identical. And the guy goes, you're fucking lying. Star Wars is a space. Halloween is a fucking horror movie. I'm like, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about they did the exact same beats as this both. The guy's like, you're fucking crazy. I gotta tell you what, go on my show and I'll explain it to you on how Halloween just did exactly what the last 3 Star Wars movie did. Okay? So I know this might be nerdy to you guys, and I know this might be a little nerdy to you guys, but I try to explain to this fucker, and some people just don't listen. They don't want to listen. They're like just dumbasses. And I was like, okay, when you look at Star Wars, A Force Awakens movie, the movie is a soft reboot from A New Hope. What that means is they took almost the same kind of a story and made it a new story, but it's a soft reboot where they almost copied the same things. What does that mean? Well, what I mean is Luke Skywalker in the desert, Rey in the desert. Star Wars New Hope is about blowing up the Death Star. Force Awakens, blowing up a bigger Death Star that's a planet. They had different ways to get there, to get to that point. Same thing, right? I go, Halloween, the 2018 Halloween did the exact same thing. Like, how is that possible? Well, in the original 1978 Halloween, Michael, when they pull up to the place, all these crazy people are walking around. Michael Myers escaped. 2018, they pull up on the road. He escaped. People walking on the roads. Exactly the same thing. Same thing. He's walking on the street, getting into a car, taking off. Instead of a Death Star in Halloween, the battle is between Laurie Stride and Michael Myers. They got Michael Myers to her a different way, but the battle was there. It's almost exact same notes. I mean, almost identical. You might think I'm crazy, but it is almost an identical kind of a story. It's a soft reboot, but as long as you make it good, it's good. So now, let's go to the second one. Now, I know a lot of you guys are like, you're thinking too much. No, I'm not. And the second one, what did they do that was different? They said, well, fuck that one. We're going to say Ray is a nobody. It doesn't matter who you are. So the original storylines of Star Wars of being Darth Vader being the chosen one, you know, they're going to bring balance back. Well, they flushed that out of the fucking toilet. They said, fuck that. Ray's nobody. The Emperor lives. You found out in the third movie. So there really wasn't what you call a chosen one. That's all bullshit because you know there's no bloodline through Ray, just through evil. Okay, so Michael Myers. Let's go to this movie. Well, the connection between Michael Myers and not Ray, Laurie Stride. Well, there is no more connections. It was never about her. It was about him going back to the house. That's all about. So the connection between those two never happened. And I'm like, fuck you. That's bullshit because now I like the beginning of Halloween Kill when they did the past scene, but they set that up to make it where it was all about going back to the house for him. And that's bullshit. People are like, it doesn't have to be about Laurie. Yes, it does. Yes, it fucking does. The reason is, in the first Halloween movie, doesn't Michael Myers was playing with her? You know, hold on. There's Dr. Wu. He wasn't. Laurie wasn't just a side kill for Michael. Michael chose her. He showed up at her school outside the window. When she was walking the sidewalk, he was staring at her behind bushes. He picked her for a reason. Now, you want to pull out that they're not brother and sister? Well, that's fine. That doesn't matter. But he had a hard on for her. He did. Because
he did.
Killed everybody around her, but not her. Yes. So no matter what you say, there is a fucking connection between the two. But in this one, just like Ray and stuff, fuck it. Anybody can be a Jedi. Doesn't matter about the chosen one. In this one, Laurie, he always wanted to go home. Listen, in the first one, he did go home. He went home, he ate his dog, and he went out to go kill Laurie. And then, of course, in this new one, they put an extra scene where he does go back home again. So he does go home, but there's something about Laurie why he wanted to kill her, even without the second one saying they're brother and sister. So in this one, they did the same thing as Star Wars. Fuck it. We're just going to change it. We're just going to go a whole new route. Now, the third Star Wars, now there's not a Halloween yet. The third Star Wars said, fuck the second one. We're going back to the first one. All we know, this third Halloween is going to say, fuck the second one. We're going to make them brother and sister again. Who knows? Now, guys, the guy in the bottom right here, Bob is about to head back out of the mountains because you're going to, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
The idea is the hunting season starts back up next week, but you guys want a spot. So you're actually going to go up there to hold that spot because most of the forest, got burnt down. Because of it, it condensed a smaller area where there's still the same amount of hunters, but they're hunting a smaller area. So they kind of need you to hold on to a spot, or otherwise you're not going to have a spot.
Yeah, a lot of the spots are taken. However, this is ironic. I love this fucking reality. Coming up this weekend, and it's already started here in California, or down low, supposed to be the biggest storm out of 2 years or something. Like they say, there hadn't been a storm bigger than this, but for 2 years ago, they don't even know how big it is yet. There's a huge storm coming right now. And so we're really packing up. Then we're excited because anybody that is a squatcher knows that those guys like to run around when it's fucking pouring down rain, and it's a skeleton burnt forest. So number one, deer hunting is going to be fucking aces, like ducks in a barrel. And B, if there's anything out there, I've got all the film equipment I've been loading up. I got the cameras. I got all the download stuff. We're going to be able to go on these areas where we're going to be able to see anything moving as clear as fucking day. It's going to be crazy. Oh, yeah. I like his selections there.
Bring the knives. Bring the knives. Both of us are going to need a couple knives and nines for our next adventure. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I got a couple. I got my tomahawk, too, so it's being sharpened right now as we speak. But, yeah, Eric, it's going to be great, man. We couldn't ask for anything better than this. I was like, you're shitting me. The biggest storm in 2 years is going to happen, like, tomorrow? And it's already cloudy. It's already getting darker, and then I heard it's already starting to rain in the mountains, and it's just Friday.
Wow.
The big stuff don't come until Sunday. Oh, look at this.
I'm bringing the sword with me tonight to the graveyard, just in case the White Witch wants to get a little wild.
Yeah. Also, they work great with The Walking Dead, with the zombies. They're great for zombies.
Yes, this is my backup sword. The snake usually keeps most bad things away.
Very good. Every grown man should have at least a katana. I mean, I don't know why they would not.
We have these Link swords from the game Zelda, and then I also have Gandalf's sword right here, which is really cool. And it is actually pretty sharp. So I'm going to take that one to the swamp with me tomorrow, and the skunk cave can get some.
I want to see that sword again. It's Gandalf's sword. It has knife. Any other character swords in there? Anything cool?
We have little small Zelda ones right up here too, but this comes with the shield. But you can take the sword off and have them as little daggers. But yeah, a lot of the dangerous stuff from the videos I've seen is the fishing hooks, guys. You get a fishing hook in here, you're in trouble. What's up, Mike? How are you doing, brother?
What's up, guys?
How you doing?
Hanging in there. I took a midday nap, so that was nice. But I woke up to Gypsy Road, so that was cool.
Yeah, I know. We haven't really done a live show in a while. Well, since
it's all right. You said it was gonna happen with your new job and shit. But I was telling Connor like 2 days ago. I'm like, I feel naked, man. I'm like, I got kind of dependent on that midday guarantee of Gypsy Road. You know, like you don't know you miss it till it's gone. You know, like it's like. It was so cool every day, midday. I'm like, oh, there's always something happening, you know, like, and I don't know. It's
well, next week I could actually do midday like today, because I'm not starting this other new job until the 28th on the following week. You know,
yeah.
I've got a bunch of doves here. I got doves. Fucking doves everywhere.
Hey Gypsy, I'm leaving for Gettysburg momentarily, but wanted to stop by and say hello. Gettysburg. Me and Bob has been to Gettysburg a lot.
Love Gettysburg.
Bob and I used to live 10 minutes away from Gettysburg. We used to live in Frederick, Maryland.
Yeah, I worked in D.C.
Bob was working at the museum in Washington, D.C., and I was working for a cable company. So I lived in Maryland for a while. And we lived right next to Gettysburg. And the coolest thing that ever happened for Bob and I, we did this ghost walk. We did a paranormal ghost walk in Gettysburg. But for whatever reason, that night that we picked, Bob, remember, they had a fireworks show in the air.
Yeah, it worked out fantastic. So it was like
telling you the Civil War stories.
Yeah.
Fireworks were going off. So it sounded like it was like almost like a 4D effect in a lot of ways.
Like nothing's cooler than walking into a party. It's like he's like, hey, there's a party going on. Shit, you couldn't pick a better day than this. Nice. By the way, this avatar thing I have here, I have fucking no idea where it is, where it came from. I don't know. My old fucking cool picture of me smoking is gone, and this thing is there. I don't know what it is. So I'm just throwing it at you guys. It's a box.
It almost looks like Dracula's the thing Dracula goes in at night. You know what I mean? The casket he goes in or whatever. That's what I thought it was anyway.
I give you my word. I have no idea. I did not put this here. I was like, first I wasn't even in. I'm like, what? Streaming. I was in it last night. And it fucking kicked me all the way out. So I had to punch it in and all that stuff and get it, retrieve it from my email. And then this box popped up, and I'm like, what fucking picture is this? I have no idea. I don't know.
Connor, you've been to Maryland. You said you live in Maryland? I heard you say something about Maryland the other day.
Yeah, I've never lived in Maryland, but I had a lot of family that lived in the Washington D.C. area, and then I've also been to D.C. on a school trip, and I've been to Gettysburg. But yeah, the Midwest side is still very much alive in me. But yeah, it's just family members that lived in Washington, not me.
You know, because I was trying to understand. They had a weird rule because me and Bob went to Gettysburg. Oh, actually, technically that's Pennsylvania. They were doing a reenactment. But they weren't doing a reenactment of the war, like the shooting part. They're doing a reenactment of the medical side.
Yeah.
And we asked them, do you guys have reenactments of the war? They said technically they can't. They can't have a reenactment of the war. It has to be on the medical side.
It's a fine line. Like I've been to like Sagamore Hill where Teddy Roosevelt was for a while. You know, they do a thing where like there's like a reenactment there, and they have like the horses and like the guys are dressed up, but that's as far as they can go. And then I got a Black Hawk coming over.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't have dubs. I don't have anything dramatic. No
but they give the kids this thing. They like they write them up like enlistment papers and stuff, like it's the old days, and like they put them on like a scavenger hunt and all this stuff. Like it's really cool though. But yeah, I don't know, for some reason they said they're like we're not allowed to like put like that. You know, we're not allowed to like reenact any of the shooting or the war itself. Like I don't know, the world's gone soft. You know what I mean?
I know it was weird. Hey Bob, I think there's an echo sound, Bob, and it's coming from your end.
Yeah, I'm gonna go grab headphones. You guys keep talking.
Yeah, I thought that was. You're right. It must have gone soft. I thought that was weird. I'm like, okay. I mean, it was interesting stuff. I learned a lot. I mean, I learned that when they're trying to help out with wounds, they found out that if you boiled horsehair by boiling cloth and stuff, it kills germs. So when they saw people's like legs getting blown off, that they were getting less infections because they learned boiling. And the reason they learned is they told us that during that Civil War, they actually ran out of materials. So they needed stuff to sew people's legs and arms. All they had was horsehair, but horsehair was too thick.
Yeah.
So they boiled it to get it softer. And that's where they learned that by boiling things that you kill germs and stuff. And when they used it, they realized, holy shit, this helps people.
That's cool. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I learn a lot. I mean, but honestly, like, I mean, I say the world's gone soft, but like, I whatever. Like, I mean, it's to the point where you can't even like let your kids play alone in the backyard these days, you know, because like it's taboo because nobody's watching them, and someone could have. I mean, when we were kids, like you went, the sun came up, you were gone, you didn't come. You were lucky if you could call sometimes and be like, oh, I'm here, you know, and you didn't even come back. Like it's crazy. You can't like. It's just, I don't know. The world's just gone soft in my opinion, but.
Well, yeah, you get on your bike and you're just gone, and nobody's looking for you. Nobody's searching for you. You know, you're coming back when it gets dawn. It's yeah. That's
this is what it is. But like, I mean, I could see if there was a reason, like, oh, like there's a, I don't know, like me, I'm veteran too. Obviously, I got PTSD. Mine comes from sound and stuff, like fireworks affect me. Like I could see if they were like, oh, there's a VA hospital over here or something. Like that's why we're doing it. But I don't know, just to do it, to just stop doing it, because that's something they were doing for a long time. The reenactments, like, right?
Yeah, I love
for
them.
the longest. Like it's like something that like that's what I know it for. Kind of is like that they do reenactments there, you know.
Yeah, dude, I used to work at Fort Lewis Historical Museum. So I worked there for a while. And they had, this was classically badass. They had World War II reenactments there. And it was, I mean, you know, on the base. But all these guys, this is World War II, and they'd come on and they'd have their, I guess, historically correct uniforms. Some of them had the old Ike jackets that were kind of like half coats that come up around the waistline. It was legal for a short time.
I'm sure those guys loved doing that shit too. The
Yeah.
people who do that kind of stuff, they loved it. Like, you know what I mean? Like my uncle's like 10 years older than me, and it kind of reminds me of him when he was like very much so. Like from when I was growing up watching my uncle, like Connor is like a spitting image of him. And he used to do this stuff, and I used to go with him, but he used to do this like, I guess they call it LARPing or some shit, but
LARPing.
There was like no name for it, but they would dress up in medieval shit, and he had like up armor that he even built it, and like he would build his weapons, and I mean these guys had names, and I mean they fucking lit into each other. It wasn't no bullshit. Like they fucked each other up with like wood stuff, and like smashing each other, and like they had to bang their metal back into place. Yeah, it was cool, and like it just slowly like faded away, and like it just sucks when like a piece of somebody dies like that. You know what I mean? Like
we'll bring it back. We'll bring it back one day. It's gonna come back.
So soft, everything is politically correct now. You got to watch how you say things because you might hurt somebody's feelings. They have to have a little blanket in the corner nowadays. I mean,
of course.
I don't mind the world being like softer, like, but it's not even softer. Like, it's not like there's like more love emanating around the world. It's not like there's more people like hugging on each other because there's no reenactment of the Civil War. You know what I mean? Like, it's to me, it's just killing history.
It's killing history. Yeah, it's killing history. That's what my thing is. Outside of all the whatever, it's killing history. And the old classic saying, if you remove history or you kill history, then you're doomed to repeat it, and that includes statues and things that are not so kosher. You know what I mean? They're not so fucking. They're kind of, they represented something bad, but it's a reminder of what not to do.
That's
Go ahead.
That's kind of what the United States is, though, bro. I mean, like the whole world has done things that we're doing over and over again, and we're just sitting here chanting USA, we're the best. And I mean, we've really lost all of history. You know what I mean? like the whole world has gone through some shit that we're like sitting over here just doing over and over again. They're probably all laughing at us. Like, we literally wiped out everything, and just I don't know. I feel like the whole country was founded on lies, but just the more and more I dig into the rabbit hole of certain things, other things pop up, and you realize how much has just been X'd out of our past.
They're trying to remove it, systematically trying to remove the past, and it's aggressive. Now, I'm not going to jump into the conspiracy, but there is a rolling conspiracy. Right. I have friends on the inside that kind of say, you know what, this is solid. ISIS, which is called ISIS-K now. What the fuck? Anyway. Was blowing up all historical sites all across the back of this turtle, blowing shit up. I mean, specifically targeting. And I had a couple of Somali buddies who was like, hey, I saw one of the ISIS guys, and he's got a big old tattoo. It says the United States fucking Ranger on the side of it. And I go, oh, no, man. No, anyway, there seems to be like a private group, whoever ISIS is, blowing up history. There seems to be, and this is only a conspiracy, guys, so throw it away, take it a grain of salt. But it seems to be, there is some sort of movement to remove history. It's almost blatant. Yeah.
It's almost like everybody's cheating at life now. Here's one. Like, I'm going to use this as an example. I saw them in concert. Now, I want to talk about Kiss for a second. Back in the day, Kiss played live shows. Live, everything was live. Music was real. You go to shows, everything's real. What you hear is what you get. You go to Kiss show now, they're using tracks. Bands are using tracks. You don't even get to hear real music anymore.
I know.
It's fake. I was fucking that stupid band, Coldplay, that boring band, has admitted on a channel that all their background vocals are all from tracks. And it's like, even shows are fake. Everything is fake. Nothing's real anymore. When Kiss is on the tracks, we've gone to shit.
Well, everything is fake now, man. You even got deep fake. You got fake on top of fake. You got fake faces and fake things. They even talked about, and I'm going to say this is plausible. They had both Trump and Biden had these press whatever little thingies, and they got together and they're walking with the cameras, and they show like no shadow, like everybody has a shadow but the president. And I go, wait a minute, now is this a deep fake? Are they just, is he not actually there and they're just projecting him there? It was all over everyone's. I went and saw the original footage and said, yeah, that shadow is not there. Deep faking.
I mean, I know. I mean, there's so many things that go on like that. I mean, like when I was in Afghanistan, I was in Kandahar, and my mother called me, and she was like, "Oh, the president's there," and I'm like, "He is," and like she's like, "Yeah, they're showing him there, and he's there, and he's in Kandahar, and he's got a big audience, and this and that," and I'm like, I'm looking around, and I'm like, no, and I'm like, I'm in the main part of the base at the time, and I'm like, no. I'm like, he was on this fob, I would know it. It's just like, oh, turns out he was in Bahrain, but they were staging him. They were staging him in Kandahar. So so we took all the heat because they thought he was whatever. Long story short, like it's almost like need to know. You know what I mean? Like, and if you don't nobody needs to know shit. Really, I mean, like, that's the way they look at it.
Thank you for sharing that. By the way, that takes, you guys don't understand. It takes a lot to share things like that. Especially,
I love that.
Yeah,
He's here? Where?
Well, I saw when General Petraeus would move around, and he was our 5-star at the time, and whatever. That's a long story, but Petraeus was my 5-star at the time, and when he would walk around, they would shut down like the neighboring, like he had like a moving force field, and he was not the president. So, like, when he was in somewhere, it was surrounded by, he was so super protected and you knew when he was around. So that's why when she said the president was there, I'm like, there's no way. There's no way.
There's nobody here, man.
Connor up there had a video premiere yesterday, and he ran into this guy fishing, this old man. And this old man was just telling him stories about life. And like, we need people like that. It's like, now you want to hear real stories, you got to look for older people that are fishing and stuff.
To tell you the truth stories, the real stories, the actual stories about kind of the, a little bit of misinformation that kind of goes around.
Everybody has a life, and I get that. And I get some people I know, they won't come out because of their families, or they won't come out because of their friends, or they won't say this because of their job or their social stature, or I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like I'm medically retired military. Like, I'm not going back to work, so I don't have to worry about that shit. I already like kind of isolate from the world anyway. You know what I mean? What the difference does it make to me? You know what I mean? Like, so to me, like I just don't care. Like, I just don't care. I share because I care, and I want people to see it. I want people to be involved. But if you don't want to be in, like, you think something of me, I also don't care. And that it becomes, you got to have that alligator skin to share things that are out of the norm, because a lot of darts get stuck on you when you're different. Everyone likes to throw a dagger.
Oh yeah.
You're targeted, man.
It makes you.
Who was that guy you were talking to in your video? That guy was telling you everything.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was on mute when you were saying it. Which video was it?
You won yesterday.
Oh yeah, the fishing one with that guy. Yeah, he actually used to go. Awesome. He used to take out George Bush and Bill Clinton on his boat. Dude, I have like 35 more minutes of that guy talking. He was saying some crazy stuff that like could get them in trouble, man. It was wild, but he was awesome. And yeah, he used to be a fishing guide on the Potomac. But yeah, man, he had some crazy information, and it was really nice just to talk to him. And I know a couple of the comments were like, that was so nice of you just to mess with him, but it was just as cool for me as it was for him.
You're giving him a platform. He was you didn't do nothing. He was talking freely. You weren't even asking him about the governments and stuff when he's talking about Bush. He was just coming out freely.
Yeah, he approaches people the same way every time. Hey, I'm Connor. I got a channel, if you want to just tell us. And like, people just, I mean, he's got that across his head, like, tell me your life story thing. Like, I thought I had one of those across my head, but him, it's like,
It's natural because he comes up with a smile and he's harmless. You know,
Oh, yeah.
He's never killed a man in his life. You can see, man, like, oh, he's nice. He's
Yeah,
friendly.
but they look at me like, yeah, like I'm harmless, like I'm a nobody in a good way though. Like because I put myself in that I am nothing. So we are all nothing. So your story is already good enough. And a lot of people, they feel like they have to fit some kind of mold when I'm just looking for incredible information and interesting Easter eggs. And I tend to find them, man. Even Jonathan, who was in here earlier, he was telling me about the story that his uncle encountered the Ocheezy Pond Wild Man. So literally just every day in these surroundings in the comic book store, I get to talk about weird and fun stuff. And I'm the goofy guy with the long hair, so they feel a little bit more comfortable with me. But I've been on the outside of a lot of circles and been the outcast in many rooms. So I just try to make people feel welcome. And I like to put my neck out there for people and try to be like a secretary, because in this world, you can have the perfect approach and everything, and still to get that follow up from somebody is like asking them to pull teeth. But I'm not scared and not afraid to be loud and be proud of what I represent. And I want to be the voice to the people that, you know, are in the shadows for many different reasons.
Even the people who aren't, like on Sean G's Chasing the Truth the other night, 5-6 people in a row counter sent me, and I was one of them. I was like the 5th guy, and I was like, but the way he said it to me, he was like, hey, I'm over here. Sean G's like, how about you should hop on and blow people's minds. And I'm like, the way he said it, I felt like kind of obligated. Like, I'm like, oh, am I supposed to get on here?
And each person I recommend them individually. Like, I'm not just mass texting
I know
a bunch
you're not.
of people.
I know you're not.
I have 5 to 7 people that I really care about, and I want them to meet the other people that I care about, and then just sharing that information and seeing worlds collide, just like this. Like, you're on the Gypsy Road show, and that is so beautiful, and you're just family now. But 3 weeks ago, you guys didn't know who each other were, and now look at the possibilities. So I just want to bring people together. And again, if people find themselves on the opposite side of the fence than me, good luck, because I'm coming with a whole ball of energy, and I do a lot of research, and I've talked to a lot of people. So it's not like I'm not just sitting here in 3rd grade and telling people my beliefs and everything. I'm on the ground floor with this, and I hate censorship, and I hate walls. So I just try to get to the source, the root.
You're not trying, bro. You're doing it, man. Let me tell you. Like, there's a reason I call you young legend. Like, if you hung your hat up today at 26, you'd be able to just, whatever, 30 years from now, just say, yeah, I did all that shit. But I mean, I'm pretty sure in 30 years, you're still going to be going the same way. And that body of work is going to be fucking something special to look at.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you even admiring it and realizing it. I love tapping into those type of connections, man. And that's how I feel about you two. And I feel the same way about Dr. Wu and Eric. We are the spear that is breaking through this ice, and we are all positive heads to this. And I love that we can bring our communities together. And there are such incredible people that it makes our job pretty easy. We just have to be ourselves. And for some people, that's the biggest duty you can ask. But that's the only thing I'm good at, is just being myf. And then the rest just falls in line.
Well, I got his messenger. I got your messenger for a friend of yours. I go like, oh shit, that's cool. I would love to go say hi to this guy, like jump on whatever. Damn it, this week is busy as hell. I felt bad. But yeah, thank you for sending that. I saw that too. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. This guy had
the amount of no's and blow-offs that I get, are mountains high. So the yeses, which may seem to be abundant, I fight through the no's and the weird looks for these kind of feelings, So I love it, and I'm willing to be the crazy guy.
Like, it's an awkward thing to do. Sometimes I do a live show, and then I'll have a guest. Like, if I don't really have a lot going on, whatever, I'll be like, oh, who do you guys want to see, whatever. And like you and Tim T, who came on one time, that was awesome or whatever. But like, I don't know, like, for instance, like Ron Moorhead came up, and I went to Ron, and I just had to start up a conversation because I wanted to do it for the subscribers. And it's awkward. You know what I mean? Like, when you're just sitting there kind of waiting from someone you don't really know for a response about, You know what I mean? And I'm not like a show that does that stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm like I'm a guy who runs around the woods, but sometimes I sit down and we just shoot the shit because it's not like a formal thing, so I don't know. Like, that's why I like shows like this. A lot of people love shows like this where it's just like, and that breaking news stuff that you added, bro, is just
That's cool. I do like that.
It's so
fun.
fucking cool.
But Connor's right, because Bob will tell you that there's a time that I was trying to get guests on, and 10 out of 10 says no.
Yeah.
Then there's 11 person that once in a while says yes. They're like, all right, come on. And then usually when they come on, they're like, this channel's not bad. I'll come back.
Yeah.
But there's so many channels that if you don't have the subscriber list or the live people watching, they don't even bother. And it's like, then I don't want you on my channel in the first place.
Well, yeah, they want to organize.
How many people you're watching you?
Yeah, like what exactly? Like I go, what exactly paranormal are you guys focusing? We're like paranormal. Well, what exactly? Well, paranormal. It means not whatever's not fucking normal.
It's an umbrella, yeah. It's an umbrella. But I think some people, it depends, because I just found a show called man, it's cool actually, because somebody I know and I talk to on a regular, I never mentioned that he was on TV, and I just see him on the show, and I'm like, holy shit, I talk to this guy all the time. And that's cool too to me that he was that humble and never mentioned it. You know what I mean? But when people like have some kind of like almost like accomplishment, but they just like leave it over here, just because they're not trying to be bigger or better. But anyway, long story short, it's called These Woods Are Haunted. So you would think haunted. Some people might think that it's gonna just be spirits, or it's just gonna be like a residual thing, or a ghost thing, or whatever. And I wasn't really sure what they meant by haunting, but they have dogmen, skinwalkers, Bigfoot, aliens. They have all these things, And
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I've seen the title on a show.
Like one's about like they saw a UFO driving into the cabin, and then like there was something cloaked running around on the porch, and like it was out in the brush. And another one was they basically called it a werewolf in essence. Like he was saying dogman, but he's like, I looked at a fucking werewolf. Like he's like, I was a complete skeptic. A lot of these shows I don't really care for, but this one seems like they let the person kind of tell the story. They use a lot of the guided stuff. I've been on TV, and I tell you, they use about, especially when it's about, they came to my house once about the president. I talked for an hour about Donald Trump. They used Gunner in his service dog vest for like 30 seconds, and they had me say one line of bad things about him out of like the hour and a half I spoke. You know what I mean? And it was me saying, how the fuck can you lead anybody if you've never been in the how can you lead the army if you've never been in
the military? That's my philosophy.
Like that was what they took. It was just me being an asshole like that. And
but that's pretty across the board for veterans.
Like what he says here, Chasing Truth wrote, my niece asked me about my show. I said the folks are crazy about what's running around in the woods.
Yeah. Yeah, I always get that confronted. Oh, what's the new conspiracy theory of the day? I said, well, I don't know. I don't deal in conspiracy theories. I pull out facts. I present data and then let people figure it out for themselves. But I'm not a conspiracy fucking guy.
No, what's with people when you say Bigfoot or something? They always come up with the fucking word conspiracy. Like, we're not talking conspiracy.
Well, I don't even consider Bigfoot. I don't consider Bigfoot a cryptid anymore. So, like, I mean, to me, there's no conspiracy. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I was like.
Maybe to some people there is a conspiracy because they're just talking about how it's hidden from, because we know the government knows about it. I can tell you right now, I'm tracked to an extent. You know what I mean? You guys just heard, like, these Blackhawks didn't fly over my fucking house before I started this. What are they doing? What do they want? Is it good? Is it bad? I don't know. And I'm not going to delve into that shit. I don't know. I really don't know. Like, it has made me abide by their rules a little bit, though. The feds have put me in a box. I have to hide where I go. Like I've shown where I was, and it got fucking trashed for no reason. I mean, just like land, just turned into a parking lot. Certain things have put me into a box when it comes to them, but I've had to put a lot of faith in that these Sasquatch and these beings have been here a lot longer than me, and they know how to hide and they know how to protect themselves and they know how to cover their ass. You know, and because I almost quit after that time. I almost quit because there was in that particular place there was a big nest that I used to go and I used to sit in, and I used to gain a lot of contact. It was very, very local. It was very convenient. It was one of the first places I ever went. So when that whole thing got leveled, I felt personally responsible, and I felt like I was doing damage. So I almost stopped completely. And if it wasn't for a lot of good people, like how Connor's talking about people, like if it wasn't for a lot of people kind of like giving me a nudge and then getting kind of the okay from them, because I went back one day, like kind of in mourning, if you will, and they were there and they kind of gave me like this feeling of like it's okay type thing. Like, we're gonna be okay, you're gonna be okay, it's all good. And I continued on that way, you know, and I also think to an extent that Sasquatch in itself is personal to people. I think that they can come to people in different ways. I have a fear of nighttime, kind of. They don't really fuck with me at night. That's a personal thing that they know about me. I don't necessarily like to see all of them all the time, you know, like they come to me more in like a spiritual form and like a, you know, more, sometimes I think they come to people how they need them to be brought.
Yeah, I still think
needs to be brought to them.
Yeah, there's still, you know, there's still that whole, are they interdimensional? Are they from this time? Is there an overlap? Are they still just walking around? Are they from millions of years in the past, and they kind of residual themselves? Because, you know, time is kind of weird. It doesn't really exist.
Big picture. Those are some big picture questions that get kind of hard to tackle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They can make your gears spin all day, every day. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I don't understand personally how somebody could just be like, "Oh, they're a Nephilim." Like, where the fuck do you come up with this? Where? Like, I mean, I'm out there every single day. Where the fuck do you get this shit? You know, and like, or like, "Oh, this street structure, this means this," and I'm like, who fucking told you that? Who told you that? Because if it wasn't a Sasquatch, I don't want to really hear it, to be honest with you, because there's just so much shit that's been passed down that's hot fucking garbage, and it resonates with everybody because it's an answer. It's an answer.
It's an easy answer.
It doesn't always have to be the right one, but people like answers. And you know, I don't know. There's not a lot that I'm willing to be like, yeah, that's it. You know.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. I should say this, that there's people that can't think for themselves anymore. They want people to give them the answer, so they're not willing to research. They hear this, they believe it because they don't care to believe anything else. They hear the first thing they hear. It's pretty sad. It's like watching CNN, Fox News. Like, everything they tell you, it's all real. It's all 100%.
You know how much damage control I do? Like, people are like, "Oh, this person said this, and you think it's true? And did you ever hear this? Or that guy did this, and the next guy said that." And I'm like, where? I'm like, who's your source? What's his source? You know what I'm saying? Like, where? Just think about it. Just use your head for a minute and just look at it.
Yeah.
Look at the body of work. If this guy,
he says what we say all the time. You got to follow the source. Where did the source originated from?
It's funny over here where I'm at with all these Americans. I've been overseas the whole time. And so they've got the news on. Everyone kind of just has the news running in the background, whatever. You know, that's what our brains are supposed to. And I always change it to the BBC or the foreign channels. And I put it down, and we're doing shit. And they're stopping going, "Wait, what just happened?" I said, "You guys did not know that that Japan's biggest whatever volcano just erupted?" "No." I said, "How many volcanoes you guys know erupted?" They didn't know any. I said, "Did you guys know that fucking half of China is underwater?" "No." "We knew that the Chinese tankers are all caught up with the ocean because of Biden." "Biden ain't shit." I said, "The fucking tankers are caught because half of their shit, their home ports are underwater. So they're out wandering around right now. There's no." I said, "You guys know that half of these places are underwater?" "No." "Did you see India's fucking last thing, the earthquake, and it has a big landslide?" "No." So the news is running.
I'm one of them people that don't know when it comes to that shit. I am one that doesn't know.
Yeah, but nobody knows because the American channels are showing nothing, nothing but Corona stuff. And I was like, guys, change the channel. Now watch, just go. And right now, in people don't know, in Israel, They're the practice round for all the jabs and the shots or whatever, and so they're having some people falling out and dying because of the. I don't want to get into that on the show, but also England. After I left England, I almost couldn't get out because they have a variant now. In England, it's going back to red. Their little chart number is theoretic, whatever the narrative is, going up. So I go, these things are happening, and nobody in America has a fucking clue. Like, oh,
it's
a lot
true.
of shit happening.
We're very sheltered, and it goes back to what I was saying earlier. Kind of like we've given ourselves like we're the best, and like we're up here, and everyone else is down there, and that's why shit's fucked up and this and that. But there's like so much wool pulled over our eyes all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like my wife joked one day, and she's like, the pandemic hit, and they released the tigers to distract everyone. They put out Tiger King, like, and it was like everyone was like watching Tiger King at home, like everything was cool. And I'm like, fuck. And I'm like, you're right. I'm like, this shit distracted me. I'm like,
Yeah.
I've watched Joe Dirt or whatever his name is 12 times in a row. But
the biggest distraction, over the last 6 weeks, of course, was Gabby Petito going missing. And now, a couple days after his parents go looking, they find the body. They find the remains. I knew something was fishy because it really took over the world. And I think it was the establishment. They're doing a really crappy job right now. So they push what is hot: missing people, van life, road trip, a pretty young girl. And then you add in a bunch of stuff. You really dig deep. Gabby Petito was in a Sandy Hook music video. Those who know. False flags, guys.
I told people, I said, guys, break it down first because it's information for other people so they don't get involved with it, people that are in the know. And I said, look up the word Gabby first. Just remove it from the whole scenario. They look it up. There's a goat. Yeah, there's the goat. You see the goat? Gabby's the name of a goat. He's a cartoon goat out of the 30s, 40s, and 50s, and he's still present. And he's like in red. He's got his goat. He's a goat. I said, it's called the escape goat. Okay, it's distraction. Now, what are we looking at? Dirty laundry. We're looking at laundry. Okay, so we're looking at dirt. I go, everything's there. Now, I said, also look up at the name where all the camera work was been filmed at when they had their little tiff on the side of the road. It's in Moab. I did a whole thing on Moab. I said, it's in the Bible. It's a whole thing about Moab women, Moab this. Moses died around Moab. There's a whole history for Moab. I can go into fucking hours worth of history in the Bible about the Moab. I go, and right now, Moab has down at the Dead Sea areas, they're turning red. They
also named the mother of all bombs after it too.
Yes, the mother of all bombs is named Moab. Yes, and so I did a thing last night on my other show about the Moab bomb, which is also equivalent to several nuclear whatever, but it doesn't have any fallout. So it's an amazing piece of technology that nobody even talks about. It's called a Moab. So all this information, I go, they're just feeding it to you in pieces. Yeah. Now, I can't tell you if they've actually passed on or not. Now, I know a lot of people that supposedly had something happen to them during these little incidences. They've seen them disappear. They've died, theoretically, but they seem to keep popping up in other things. Also, there's like a theory that I don't believe in, but I'm going to say it anyway, that they are, in fact, having some sort of arc going on, that the world is going to go, it's peaking itself to the end. And instead of having a raffle like that movie called October or whatever, I know Greenland, the movie called Greenland that's out right now. Instead of having a raffle on who's getting on the boat and who's not getting on the boat, they're having these fake shootings. So the kids that are dead are technically on the boat. Now that they can be unaccounted for. People that are shot or die mysteriously of cancer, they're on the boat. You know what I mean? I don't know if I want to go with that one, but it certainly has a lot of plausibility to it. That all these shootings and deaths of people disappearing, especially children, there's a lot of children, they'd be perfect for putting them on a boat. You understand? So they're just fake.
Something always hinges on the other. I mean, like if they want to increase the amount of money they get and whatever for Homeland Security, guess how they make it seem like a good idea? Right before something happens. You know what I'm saying? Somebody makes it over the fence and runs into the White House front door and, magically gets in and starts, or somebody, whatever. You get the drift. I'm not going to get into details, but there's always something that makes it a good idea. I mean, I wish it wasn't the case, but the whole fucking place is staged. Like like you said earlier, it's not. I mean, there's conspiracy theories and there's things that you can realize that go on, and as long as the blanket is pulled over the masses' eyes, and here comes this fucking thing again.
I got rain right now here in California. These guys said it hadn't rained in a long time. It's starting to sprinkle right now.
Well, it was 80 degrees when I was there last weekend.
Oh yeah, no, it's supposed to be the biggest storm in 2 years. Oh shit, yeah, you got a helicopter over your. It's funny. I've had one here doing circles, and the guy over here, he's like, I've never seen a helicopter do circles around this area. And I go, well, there it is. I swear, I'm not lying, dude. I'm not trying to top you. I'm saying God's truth. It's been a helicopter been flying around here lately. It's kind of doing circles.
Yeah. I tell people all the time, like, yeah, Blackhawks just fly over my house all the time. Like, what are they doing? I'm like, I'm not going to get into it.
They're making sure you stay in line.
Dude, if you could have seen how close that thing was to the top of the house, it's stupid. People like, oh, it's an intimidation factor. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Like, as long as they're not kicking in my door, I don't give a shit.
Yeah. No, don't sweat it, man. And it might not even be real. It might be part of the other theory, the old Matrix game. I was talking to the guys over here, and since I've been here, we've had these weird objects again showing up over the house, wingless, and they're like UFOs. I'm numb to it. I said, I don't know if they're real, man. I said, I just see that there's birds. I know birds. And I know when you're looking up and you see a large black bird up there and its wingspan, from the distance that I'm looking, it would be the size of a fucking football field. I'm like,
yeah. They have bumblebees now that they have like hornets that fly around and shit. I mean, they've had them, but I mean, they mastered them now.
It's weird, yeah.
I know, you could buy them. They're expensive, but you could buy them. I mean, that shit's got a good camera on it and everything.
Oh, I know. But like I said, he saw this black bird flying around, wings. I said, that's not the correct size for the distance that I'm looking at, guys. It's not. It would be the size of a fucking football field because you're seeing the whole outline of the. At that height, I said, it'd be a dot. It'd be this micro dot. You couldn't, unless you had binoculars, which you could see the wingspan at the distance. I said, that ain't correct. I said, am I right? All the hunters are going, yeah, that's not correct at all. They're looking at it with their, I said, that's not right. The distance don't make sense for the size. Yeah. You couldn't be able to see it, the whole body at that height. I said, it's reflecting weird back. Anyway, again with the Black Hawks, it's like, is it up there? Is it really flying around making the noise? Or are those birds real, or anything up there actually fake? Like a big ass weird.
It's an interesting thought. It's very interesting thought. I mean, it would be a complete. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah,
like they know. I never really think about that shit. It's funny you said that though, because I saw something come up today, like there was like a brink in the Matrix or something, or a glitch or whatever they said. There was like a car like standing, like a car crashed, but it was like standing on its nose, just on the front driver's side headlight, like that corner. It was like standing up just on that corner. Ow. Nothing else was touching, and it was in the middle of the street.
Well, here's a question, Bob. Have you heard of the Triangle Craft downloading from targeted individuals at night?
Wow.
The targeted craft like what does it mean by uploading? Now I know about that triangle. I've seen it. I've seen the triangle craft in the sky. I know what you're talking about. The one I know about, it goes into the clouds. It like poofs itself with clouds, and then it kind of disappears. I don't know. It creates its own camouflage with the clouds. But uploading, I don't know what that means. Like, are they abducting? Yeah, I believe it. I know there was I know there's people abducted. I know it for a fact. I don't know if it's an extraterrestrial or an interdimensional or a jinn or whatever the other spiritual fucking sides you want to talk about, but I know that's a fact. I know it is. I've had missing times, and I've got 3 white dots on this arm, and I've showed it on the show earlier. It's over a tattoo. Okay, so there's a white dot in the black tattoo. That means it had to go deep beyond the layer of whatever ink that was in your arm. It's got 3 triangle dots, and I'm like, well, there's a sign. And my whole fucking arm was sore. This was a while back. I was like, I'm wondering, man, if I got my ass picked up because I even got I don't know if you guys have it, but I have a purple dot on my lower back on my spine, like something had, I was in Britain. I'm hanging out with actual medical doctors, right? These are medical doctors, and they're looking at my spine. I said, "Do you ever have a one of the? You guys want to talk about? It's a spinal. It's a spinal.
Yeah,
to remove the fluid."
epidural.
Yeah, I said, I've never had an epidural, man. I said, I've never had it. They look at it and said,
I mean, I've had a lot, and I don't have that mark, bro. So I mean,
yeah, I've got it. And they said, that's like from an epidural. I said, an epidural down low? I said, well, I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, that's wild.
At the same time, I tore my pec.
Yes. I was telling people before you told them, I had a fucking like a torn arm. It was torn, and I was like, God, it's excruciating pain. I'm really double downing on the CBDs. I don't take any of the drugs. And you were like, yeah, I just got back from the medical doctor getting painkillers because you have a ripped pec on one of your other arms. Yeah, you had a ripped pec. I said, no, wow, dude, that's not weird at all.
CBD is great, bro. I love that shit. I use it for everything.
Yes. Oh, yes. I had to get off the VA's pharmaceuticals and run away.
Well, yeah, that's a whole nother story.
I had to run away from those people, man. They had me so over medicated.
Bob,
Wow.
did you give birth to the epidural, Bob?
Maybe I did. I don't know. Right? I give birth. Yeah, the epidural for people giving birth.
That's
correct. Right.
Marks from the anal probe.
Yes, marks from the anal probe. Those are. I don't understand why the aliens are smoking cigarettes after they anal probe you. It's like do they enjoy it? I don't know. Is it sexual for them? But yeah, anybody abductions, man. I have a really good suspicion that a lot of people that I call awake, that are afraid of the dark, or have these weird PTSD things that might have been abducted. And when I say abducted, I'm not talking about you getting your shit tore up and anal, whatever. Your DNA is removed. Because people say, what about time travel? So time travel can only happen with DNA. It can't happen with a human body. They can only time travel DNA. So you could be here, but another you could be living about 2,000 years in the past, because they've just moved your DNA through time to another past. So it might be what the Mandela effects are happening. Things are people seeing changes all the time because the past is obviously changing. I'm seeing evidence for it.
There's a guy. There's a guy on TikTok. He's in somewhere in Spain or some shit. I don't know, but he's been there. I don't know if he's still doing videos, but he was there for over 100 days last time I checked. And he's walking around all these places in like Madrid and all these places. I don't know, Connor, if you've seen it, but I mean, there's nobody around, and he's like leaving things, and people are leaving him things, and he's like getting them. And I could send it to you, Connor. I'm like, I only follow like 5 people, and it's like you, that guy, and like, you know.
That's what
I've definitely seen a few of those videos that he is in like a alternate reality. Yes, it's definitely spooky.
Oh, that guy.
And right there, guys, TikTok is just a platform. It's a tool. It's how you use it. And when you're using it the right way, there's a plethora of information. The algorithm just keeps feeding you. But if you start liking some crap videos,
it's easy to use too. That's why I got on there, because like I'm not good with editing at all. So I know I can put pictures, like, oh, I can put 6 pictures here, and I can add music to it and like make it kind of fun. And like that's the only way I know how to do that shit. You know, so that's why I do it. And like every time I do it, YouTube's like, we're getting you a strike. I'm like, you know, and I leave like 1 or 2 word, you know, replies all the time. Usually it's like, you know, fuck you. But like, you know, I just don't care, because like I never got into be monetized. I never got into, you know, like, so I can give a shit less. I don't even know how to monetize my videos. So like they're threatening the wrong guy. So anyway, what I wanted to say was, you brought up UFOs and somebody else did too. So it's been interesting for me, like for a couple months at least, I've been noticing I sleep really good on these nights that this star shows up, and it blinks red, like really blinks red. And it gets, once it gets my attention, is what it feels like. It starts to pulse in different colors, and it does different things. And
Shoot, we're losing him. It's got to be the black helicopter. Well, guys, he's talking about a star that blinks red, and yes, I've seen it. Not only have I seen it, I've had a group of people that we were all up in the mountains, and I asked them.
really?
I said, "Do you see that star?" Oh no, wait, I was talking. I wasn't talking over you. You blacked out. You blanked out. So
go
I'm
ahead,
kind of feeling what you were saying. No, what he's talking about is the same thing I've seen. It's a star, and it blinks red. And once you actually like start looking at it, gets your attention, it starts to blink all the colors of the rainbow. And I'm like, that's fucking weird. And I've had people around me, witnesses, said, what do you think of this? And they said, it's blinking the colors of the rainbow? And they're looking, I said, I'm not saying a word. What do you think of that fucking star? That weird ass star. I go, I don't know. I don't know if that's Venus because it's in the wrong spot for me. I don't know. But that fucking thing is blinking different colors. Exactly what you said. So say it again because you were blocked out.
Oh, it's all right. And then yeah, I was going to my sister's wedding, and I was like, I stopped to get gas and whatever, and I was like, all right, I'm not gonna want to stop after, and like it was gonna be late or whatever, so it was only like 7:30 at night, and I go behind the gas station because it's like dark and there's like a lot of tall brush, and I'm like, oh, I'm like, I couldn't even help myself. I'm in dress clothes. I'm like, I got my camera out. I'm like looking in the brush, and like I'm like, I know, but I bet nobody goes back here. All of a sudden, I mean, it's jet black out. This thing comes shooting through the sky. And I'm like, holy fuck. And like, I'm fumbling my camera and like, I couldn't get it up there in time, but it went across the sky all the way and it went fast, way faster than a plane, way faster than anything. So I'm like, I saw a UFO. I'm like, oh my God. So like, I started like doing like a video and like, I'm like talking about what I saw, like, so I don't forget. And I go and I look it up and it turns out it was, I found something that identically matched it. That was like it was like a meteor in Russia or whatever, but it was identical because it was like it couldn't be a shooting star because it was huge, and I'm like, well, maybe if it was really close, but it matched a meteor perfectly. And I mean, when I tell you this thing had a trail and tail on it that was huge and bright, and the ball was huge, like. It man, it lit up half the sky. It was I'll never forget that shit. Like but I really
you're
oh man, let me tell you,
they're coming for you. They're giving you a show, man. Once you're awake and you're tuned into it, they start giving you a show. I woke up somebody else I'm hanging out with. The other guys, they didn't wake up yet. They're kind of half there. One of them woke up completely and comes running in all. I fucking saw this, or I saw that, or this is blinking here, or this is something here, or I'm having problems. Like all of a sudden, bad luck. Like things are in the wrong spot. Cars are cutting in front of this person, like trying to irritate the. I said, hey, if once you knows you're awake within whatever this is, dreamscape here, it starts to fuck with you. Like it wants to stop you. This person had a problem 3 times just today with a credit card. And then earlier stepped on a thorn. I said, whatever happens, man, it's fucking with you. Just relax. You're going to keep having these weird things happen to you all day. Know it's happening. Stay in front of it and be smarter than the situation and know it's fucking with you. It's the probability of some of these things happening in a row. That's all I'm basing it on. Guys, it's just a plausible idea. It doesn't mean it's fact. But the probability of these things happening consecutively in one fucking day, continuously, I said, nah, something's messing with you, man, because you've been waking up. The person's in the Bible going through all kinds of weird stuff now, going, this is weird. Anyway, having that woke up moment, going through it, and then this place starts to mess with them. I said, yeah, be careful.
Bob, I got a message for you, Bob.
What's that?
My daughter says you're wrong about the Chinese.
I never said that.
You are, no. I thought you represented the Chinese. Is that how you say it? She says I say it wrong. I said that is not racist. I'm talking about one, not a group, like a Chinese, not a Chinese. That's not racist.
I gotta run, guys. I gotta go get myself.
No, thank you for jumping on, man. That was fun.
Great
See you
story.
too, Mike.
That was awesome. So Bob, how long? So everybody knows you're not dying or you're killed by creatures or monsters. How long
Yes.
are you gonna be in the mountain area? Is it 2 weeks? 1
Oh
week, 3
God.
weeks?
We just like I said, we're just kind of pit stopping for things like rations, and so we're gonna be headed back up, and I'm gonna be up there all this weekend, all the way the week, all next week, and then all into next weekend. Yeah, I'm anticipating that huge storm. I can't fucking wait for it. It's gonna be crazy up there. But yeah, I'm gonna be up there
3
for a whole
weeks.
week.
Damn. And there's no
Yeah.
internet, no nothing up there either.
Believe it or not, weird as it may sound, their fucking towers run all the way up to certain heights. I'm like, how and why are you putting fucking towers this high? But they have towers all the way up. So there's actually spots where there's internet. And so I go, the guys, hey, we might, if you guys don't mind, we can maybe do a Q&A to talk to you guys. We can come drive down to the internet area, not too far away from the upper area. It's weird that they would have it up there. I'm like, how? Who would want a tower this far up? That is suspicious to me. They'd have a tower that high, but
Maybe
they have them up
needed
there.
Connections for their people when they go up there, when they go
Yeah.
investigate regular people. You know what I mean?
Well, one of the conspiracies, and I'm going to always stress the word this is a conspiracy. It's up to you guys, is that there are compounds up there. People, I don't know if they're hiding or something's going on, or they're military or their government or something. They're up in them fucking, and this is up in the Yosemite, remember? This is way up in the mountains, high mountains.
Yeah.
There's no reason for these towers to be up there. So that means somebody somewhere paid a lot of money to have these things built up there so they can get internet and phone access. Now, I always thought it was from the satellites, but, well, if you had satellites, you wouldn't have any problem up there, but they have to have towers, though. So I'm like, okay, I don't know.
Yeah. To build it where you don't get charged is you have to have a certain amount of people to be able to build out. And if you can't make a profit off the people, then you got to pay for the towers yourself.
Yeah. They're saying it's for the loggers. I go, huh? They say the loggers, the industry, they're way up in there. And also now they have all these burned forests. They have a lot of government employees out running around all over the areas up there. And so they need these towers built because the communication in the deep forest is necessary. Like, okay, all right, that's the growing excuse. Okay, that's plausible. Okay. So yeah, I might be able to have internet up there. I'll show all everybody that I'm actually up in the woods, and I'll show where I'm at, and I'll show if it comes in. I'll say this is impossible because I'm way the fuck up high as you can go, and here's the mountains. I'll show everybody. Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
I hope we see a few more episodes from you, Dr. Wu, because Yosemite, a lot of good people have went missing up there, and there's a lot of strange crap. Electromagnetic interference, strange creatures, granite fields that might just swallow you up, and then, of course, deep underground military bases. That's the entrance to Middle Earth over there. Same with Mammoth Cave, and same with the Garden of Eden here in Florida. So it all connects.
Nice.
Look at this picture,
Yes.
guys. I mean, this is basically parts of Yosemite Forest right now. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Weird.
it's bad. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not a joke.
But you'll be able to see anything that's walking about. So it's and it's high up there. So if there is any Sasquatches or any kind of crypto animal walking around, or human, we might say, you will be able to spot it. So I'm hoping to get something. Man, something.
Yeah,
Something, man.
Aren't you afraid that maybe, I'm just saying, maybe they moved on because of that? They know it's too open for them. I'm not saying, I
Well,
don't know how
yeah,
they think.
they have. I would believe that too. However, we're supposed to have one of the biggest storms they've had in 2 years. How they judge that happening this weekend up there. So I'm going to be up in some serious elements, like badass. It's supposed to be 35-mile-an-hour winds and heavy rains, and fuck, I might even get washed out up there somewhere. We'll find out. Look, I've got some good stuff. I made some connections, so I've got some nice marijuana. Yes, I got a
See, I
bag of
even knew it before you were saying it, because that's like the most precious, important cargo when you're on these field trips. You know, it's Sasquatch and it's the ganj. Those are the two things that bring us closer to the Creator, guys. If anybody
Yeah.
wants even a tap of my frequencies, you know, mostly it's powered by the good vibes of the ganj and the other potions that I can stir up in between.
Yeah. I read a
This year,
theory.
Bob, right here,
Yeah.
strongest storm system in 2 years headed to Fresno area. What to expect? And of course,
Yeah.
you're going to be in the mountains where the storm is.
Yeah, we're stormed
worse.
way worse. And that's the flatland. That's not the mountains. It's going to be worse up there because it's above the fucking clouds. It's in the cloud line. It's going to be crazy. But back to what Connor was talking about. Now, I did an experiment, guys. It's an experiment, and it's take it with a grain of salt. It's just an experiment. One of the members of our expedition was not a marijuana smoker, however, was willing to learn. So I was giving this individual had made it from an old metal straw, this little guy right here, and I put a little micro. When I say micro, we're talking minute amount of marijuana. It's very strong enough. But and I gave this person a little bit, a couple tokes here and there. I said, so they relax and they're comfortable because I'm high. They, look, everyone's high. You're comfortable, man. There's no wrong answer. You can say whatever you want because you're stoned. Don't feel like you're being weird because there's no weird when everyone's high. We'll just laugh with you. Person was relaxed. Now I said, now before we started smoking weed, the skies are blue. There's nothing up there. You don't see any chemtrails or whatever these things are. I said, you don't see nothing. My predictability is that once we smoke this, he and I, that these things might show up. And when he's high, and sure enough, again, take it with a grain of salt. When this person got high, and I've smoked just a little bit, all of a sudden, hey, there's one there. Oh, and there's one there. And then there's one there. I said something about when people smoke weed, they start showing up. This person's looking for him now. They're spotting him everywhere. And I'm like, nah, I don't know if that's just a coincidence or when people get a little bit, I don't know, get a little bit high or somehow they're tapping into their natural DMT and their fucking pineal, whatever. These things show up. And I don't know.
Well, Bob, I'll tell you right here. I got this book. The first line says, coincidence is the only thing to never exist in this world. So I can promise you it wasn't a coincidence. And the author of that line is your boy, Connor Flynn, Erie Swamps. But no, I definitely think it calms you on a vibrational level. And then it also opens up frequencies and electricity in your brain and in your soul, of course. But then that allows that veil to thin, that door to open, them to feel comfortable, you to be open enough to accept it. It's a combination of a prism. It's amazing.
Yeah, this person couldn't stop seeing them. They wouldn't stop. They were coming in one after, and it did not show up before. This person had smoked a little marijuana, and I said, I said specifically, this is what we're going to be looking for. So there's been maybe one or two, maybe, but not at this level. Once this person hit it, I wanted to see what happens, and sure enough, they were showing up. Bam, 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 and this person's fucking excited and pointing really into it. I was like, yeah, I wonder now. I was just throwing out an idea that maybe when people get a little high, they tend to show up more, and sure enough, balance with the fact, well, you are stoned, so you might be hallucinating and you're not really seeing. Well, I wasn't. This person was. I was minutely with a very micro amount. This person, for them, that was a lot. So to see these things keep popping up was weird. I was like, I told you guys.
And it's about the cannabinoids, of course. I just saw Mike said he doesn't smoke. You don't have to smoke. It's all just about the THC. So take it however you can. The gummies, you can get body wash. You can get things you can put under your tongue. I just recommend it to everybody, at least if you have problems in your life or you got stress, anxiety, look outside the pharmaceutical realm because nature provides and it's abundant in every direction. And it will make you a better person. It will slow you down a bit. It will just calm your life. And I definitely recommend it. And then if you're into the paranormal, come on, man. I've heard the stories about finding Bigfoot behind the scenes, guys, and it wasn't too square. Let me tell you, they get down.
Yeah. When we talk, I always tell people I start them with I call it the micro. We're talking dust, a little like a very small, where it will go away in 10 minutes, 15 tops. A minute high where they don't even know they're high until they're laughing and giggling for the first 5-10 minutes, and they realize that they're back to normal again. I said, well, it's because it wore off. I said, it's a very short-lived amount I gave you. Did you want some more? Maybe later. Let's just give yourself a little time away from it. They're like, oh, well, no, let's wait a little bit. Get used to it. Later on the evening, here's a little bit more. Little micro amount. Then they got a little bit high again. And the next thing you know, man, I want to score. I want to get, no, well, let's just slow it down. You don't need that much. You have a low tolerance, which is the best thing, and it saves money. So keep it low.
Bob, you might remember this.
Yeah.
When I was a little kid. We were living in the projects. We're, living that. Remember, I wish I had that picture to show people. Sissy took it on her phone, so I don't have the picture of the place where we grew up in. I think it blows people away on how shitty that we lived in. But I mean, people will be shocked with the auction next to us. I mean, it was like gutter. But I had a major toothache as a kid. Major toothache. We had no money, no insurance, no nothing. And we were like the only white family where we lived. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. We were living, they're all Mexicans, all great people.
Yeah.
But Mexicans, they know how to have medicine to help you.
Yeah,
I know we can help you with your toothache. So they stuff marijuana like tobacco in the gums to take away the pain.
Yeah.
That's all we had.
Yeah, and it worked.
We couldn't even buy aspirins, ibuprofen, or nothing.
Yeah, they probably used the indica, which has a high CBD to it. So they took and they knew it's an indica strong, and they used that because it has a high CBD. So if you guys have the problem or an ache, whatever, and look for an indica. Use an indica, a high CBD basis to it, so you can use that for painkiller. You can put it on a wound. Believe it or not, that wound, that pain will go away.
I'm going to get baked now.
Yes. Hey, puff up for me, man. I got my Delta 8 pen right here, just for work, just to keep it legal and respectful, of course. But I got 2 blunts rolled for the cemetery tonight, and Outcast Paranormal, Stacey Brown, James Bross, RPG. That's what they're about. They do psychedelics, and they've done DMT, and just to enhance their situation. So I'm going to bring my vibes, and I'm super excited. Plus, I'm bringing those Hawaiian baby wood rose seeds, which you can grind up into a potion. And the process is about 12 hours, so we're not going to do it tonight. But maybe I can get them ready for the swamp tomorrow. I'm just so excited, man. And I don't know if Flat Rock's in the chat right now, but Flat Rock, I'm so looking forward to this weekend, bro. Sunday is going to be awesome. Tristan is going to be there as well. He's bringing a lot of artwork. His sister, we don't have the links or anything yet, but Tristan's sister, Tristan's been on this show before. He runs Hidden Relief. He's been in a lot of my videos. His sister just started a T-shirt brand company or whatever, and one of our first designs is a Mothman, and it's just so awesome. So hopefully I'm going to be repping a Mothman, sweatshirt here for the winter, and I'm just really excited. And it's cool to see individuals creating and the bottom rising up, because we're just hit with all the sponsors and real life advertisements. It's so sad that we overlook our people in the community. You can't even tell a family member that you got something going on. They'll be like, why are you bothering me? But they'll listen through 3 car commercials and then a bunch of fast food commercials. I can't even talk about my book or my movies to people without them feeling like I'm stuffing it down their throat, when it's like, whoa, if you guys knew how propaganda worked.
Oh yeah, you're our eyes wide shut guy. So once you get popular in Hollywood, you're gonna let us know what happens at the parties. You're gonna be the guy on the inside.
In there.
I've been some weird Hollywood parties, but that was more of the theater world. I got to step up to the film world of Hollywood. Things will get really weird. But I saw Joey Hayes in the chat talking about doppelgangers, and there's a doppelganger in the White House right now, guys. He's a masked man. So yes, doppelgangers are out there. There's a lot of cool movies like Gemini Man. There's another one called Plus One, and it's about this party, and then everybody who's at the party shows up outside and they have to start battling their clones. And it's really wild. But just to stay on the Star Wars topic, Episode 2, the Clone Wars, guys. They're trying to give us this predictions and just programming, really. But, man, you have to really read in between the lines, and you can kind of see what's happening next. I've called this whole pandemic for the last 3 or 4 years, and people keep saying I'm crazy and it's a conspiracy, but it keeps coming true. And it's outrageous. And anybody that's still listening to Dr. Fauci or any of this establishment, come on, man. Go hang out inside your fence, because we are trying to move this world forward. And, man, it's hard with all this darkness, but a little bit of light can just evaporate all that darkness. So I just keep it going in my heart, and I try to just hit people with little knowledge bombs once in a while, you know?
Yeah, you gotta stay away from all that new stuff, because nobody knows what they're doing anymore. I mean, here's in Washington, right? Now a lot of restaurants, you got to show a card. Okay. Now, that's a restaurant. But then Sunday comes up at a football game, you got 50,000 people. Like, you got to show a card for 10 people. 50,000 people, you have to show nothing. So it's
and what does the card do? You can still pass it. You can still do all that. So all the card is control. It has nothing to do with safety or anything. So rip that card up. But guess what? They're going to say, oh, there's fake cards. There's fake cards. How do we get around that? Directly in your system, attached to your social security number. We have to start fighting back, guys. And Candace Owens was out saying we have to rescue people from Australia. I agree. Guess what? They scorned her this morning. They made her look like, they tried to make her look like an idiot. Truth always prevails. Truth always prevails. High B will tell you that. And he does a good job of just keeping his balance. I get worked up because I've seen it unfold, and people say, oh, it doesn't make a difference. Yes, it does. And I live in Florida. I'm very lucky that I'm free. But a lot of people in this country, they're showing cards. They're wearing masks. I was just at the Titans versus Jaguars game, like 60,000 people. I feel fine right now, right? No mask, no nothing. I was sharing joints right on the 50-yard line. So again, I've worked up my immune system. I've ate dirt. Yeah. I've ate fish. I've eaten worms. But there's so many softies, man. Booger, I just saw you a little bit ago. But man, what's up, brother? I will see you on Sunday, definitely at the festival. But Flat Rock's also trying to come out to Bellamy Bridge tomorrow as well, which I'm super excited about. I also want to go scout it out here soon. Again, because I know some of the areas were a little bit flooded and there's man-made bridges. So I just want to make sure everything is, A-okay. So Flat Rock, bring your boots if you can, and everything will go from there. And real quick, Flat Rock, if you want to sleep at my house on Saturday night, I don't know how timing-wise, if it would make more sense for you to go back up your house and then back to Pace. But just know the door's open. You got a futon, or you could stay in the master bed, and I'll sleep on the futon. But you also gave me a cot. You can sleep on the cot that you gave me. That's the cycle of life right there.
That's cool.
I got a big blow up. I can't sleep on that fucking ground like I used to. I got a big blow up. Yeah.
I was jealous of all the people with blow ups mattresses in their tents at the Tennessee camp. I wasn't really jealous, but I was like, wow. Like Mogi on Monster, he had like a mansion in his, and he and Tristan were like huddled up together. It was classic and crazy.
They're fucking cheap as shit. I mean, why would a person not have one? I'm gonna roll out my mat. I'm like, that's cute. I'm gonna roll out my bed, and it's thinner than your mat. All I have to do is put air in this, and then it blows up twice the size as your mat, and it's warm and nice.
And if there's a hole, it's only $14.99. I'll just buy a new one, or I'll just return it to Walmart.
Return to Walmart, yeah. So I'm set up. I got a blow mattress, man, and a big old monster tent. Another guy's bringing up a trailer, so we got all kinds of shit going on. We got be a huge group of us up there doing the old look around and seeing what's going on.
I'm excited for you because the fire did wipe out some, but deer love to check out, freshly grazed areas and just wiped out areas. So I feel like the deer will be there, the Sasquatch will follow. And Yosemite, man, there's things around that you just can't see below your feet that are just beyond what the eyes and ears can pick up. So even if you can't see jack crap, you're surrounded by mysticism.
Yeah, well, especially archaeology, man. I can't fucking wait. I'm gonna run around looking for everything. I'll be able to see all kinds of things, earth and mounds, everything. It'll be archaeology fucking nuts.
Now we are gonna end the show in a little bit because I gotta go pick up my son and Bob's gotta get going. But Hivalus Bee, I saw you have a picture of a bee. Lives matter. If you're into bees, you should watch this episode that Bob and I did called "The Ark of the Covenant." It's about bees being inside.
Yes.
So you want to hear Bob explain how bees are life and how bees are life. Yes. Watch that video.
Also, for the bees, the pharaoh. Another name for pharaoh is beekeeper. That's what pharaoh means. Beekeeper. Believe it or not, the beekeeper. Yeah, why would it be named beekeeper if it's not relevant to anything? Believe me, bees are on the inside of a lot of things, and also symbols for Freemasonry. The bee. Why? There's a very important thing with the bees. Also, why were the bees saved? Out of all the artifacts and things at the in France, the you guys don't talk about that in church. God damn, my brain's fucking. I'm drinking whiskey.
Is it the Notre Dame?
Notre Dame, yes. God, my brain farted. Notre Dame has a special beehive up on top, and no one knows why those bees are up there and for what reason. But they were saved. They were saved, especially saved for a reason. So bees.
It's a good video. I took this clip from a bigger show, and I just did one just on the bees part because it's very interesting. You might want to check that out. I mean, you might want to check that out. We learned a lot. And then now, Bob, if you do have internet up there, then maybe you can be on the show Sunday night, and we can see what you see up there.
I'll give it a shot.
It's working. I'll check in on you.
Yes.
You got internet access.
Yes.
I think Sunday will be the first night of doing a night show.
Yes.
Okay, I don't think there's any other channel that does a night show on Sundays.
I don't know. I've never watched a show.
I mean, not people that we know. I'm sure.
Yeah, no guarantee though. No guarantee because I'm not the one driving.
There's never guarantees.
Yeah, if these guys get too, I mean, if you're drinking, you can't drive anywhere. So, like, okay, we're in a spot where you can't get internet. Well, we're staying. We're not driving until drunk up in the mountains.
I mean, we'll play by ear.
Yeah. We'll play it by ear on that one. But hell yeah, I'll make an effort though. So that way. Keep it in my mind. Nobody drink too much. We might have to go down for the internet.
Well, beyond that, I do got to get going, so I'm gonna end the show. And I want to thank Connor for coming on. Long Island Bigfoot. That was awesome. It's always fun. There's great conversations that we have.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, me and Connor could just eat popcorn and just listen to you and Long Island just talk.
I was working. I don't know if everybody saw. I'm helping customers, and. Yeah. But one thing for me, guys, I'm going to be on Missing Person Mysteries Campfire tonight at 6 Central. So do the math, everybody else. Got some more customers. So take it easy, guys. Have a good one.
Hey, Connor, let him know I'm going to be there eventually. I'll be there eventually because he got invited me on there too, and I haven't had a chance to. The same show Connor's going on, he's invited me, and I feel bad because I haven't had a chance to go on myself. But check him out. Yeah.
And then tonight I'll be watching the movie Dune, so I'll do some kind of review over the weekend if it's any good or not. Hopefully it's better than fucking Halloween Kills, because that movie fucking sucked ass.
I loved it.
That movie sucked ass.
I loved that movie. It was
I fucking
great.
hated it. I fucking hated it. I fucking hated it. But beyond that, I got to get going to pick up my son. I'll talk to everybody later.